Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video I get out and do some hot tenting and I'll talk with you about the pros and cons of my hot tent. We had a nice frost this morning and it was setting up for a perfect time to bust out the wood stove.
So that's the
That's the top. This is the bottom.
Okay.
There was.
Where is it?
Over your very end. The wood was wet this morning from the dew and frost, so we carved out the outer wet part to get into the dry inside of the wood.
I think it depends on me.
Alright, me and Jordy are out using the teepee tent right now. We're using the hot stove. Winter has now begun. This teepee tent actually, it's a Luxe brand teepee tent. There's some controversy with it right now. If you look it up on YouTube, there's some videos talking about it. The company's discontinued for scamming people. Where people were putting their orders in for the tents and they were taking people's money and then they just weren't sending in their tents. So don't buy one of these tents. I don't think they're for sale. I think the website's shut down now. But they're great tents. I've loved my tent so far. I've had it for about 2 years now. Been using it. Try to get out with it at least a couple times every winter. Right now we're out in the morning time, just hanging out, using the stove, doing a little rabbit hunting, hanging out. It's a great for multiple day use. Get to a campsite, collect wood, process some wood, post up for a little bit. I have had some issues with my stove. It's a little small, so you need to always be constantly feeding the stove, and it burns through wood really fast. And then if you're doing it overnighter, you're gonna have to be constantly waking up and feeding the fire every hour or so, which is kind of not exactly what I'm looking for. I like it though that it's lightweight. You can take this thing backpacking, that is awesome. But I think for more practical purposes, it'd be better to have a larger stove. So I might look to upgrade my stove and get a larger one. Maybe then you could use it just right out of the car camping, or in a campground, versus the one I have now is more made for backpacking. Another thing with this tent is it takes some time to get it set up properly. You want all the sides to be tight. Even today I didn't get it 100% tight and 100% set up perfect. And especially if you don't have level ground or you have rocky soil, it can be a little difficult to get this thing set up perfectly, nice and taut. Things I love about this tent though is it gets really warm. It's an awesome spot to hang out. It's really roomy in here. Just for a day use, setting it up, getting the stove going, go around, do a little hunting, just hang out. It is an awesome hangout tent. and it looks totally badass. I love the functionality of the tent. It's a great bushcraft hunting outdoor tent. When I get home, I have some repairs to make on this thing. On this hinge here on the side of the door, it has 2 little pins which have come off, and I'm gonna resituate it with a wire, but when you open the door on mine right now, the door just comes off. So I need to put a wire through this slot here to fix this back onto the door. I've done other videos in this spot, you can check them out on my channel, but we got here today a little after sunrise. It was all frosted over from the night before. It didn't quite snow, but there was a lot of frost, so it was really cold. It was hard to get the stakes in the tent, but things are warming up now. It's getting nice and toasty here in the tent with the stove.
Something to be mindful of when you use a stove like this is to put it on a flat, hard surface. Obviously, we have a little wiggle room right here, which is not the best, but it could be flatter. One of our first times using it, we just had it on a bed of dry leaves that were already on the ground, and these legs had slipped all the way into the dirt to where the bottom of the stove was sitting on the ground with the dry leaves, which caused the leaves to start to catch fire a little bit, so you want to make sure that the hot bottom is up off the ground.
After it started to warm up a bit, we decided to take a hike around where we set up the hot tent. On a little walk right now, found this baby pine tree, was inspecting it, and I found it is loaded with ladybugs. My question is, are these ladybugs killing this tree? Because it's definitely dying. I think they are, but let me know in the comments below if you think these ladybugs are killing this tree. Oh, I did not expect
It's
it to be that color.
orange. I was expecting white.
Same. No? Or should I
Just a
get it?
little more.
Oh,